What's up, party people? We are back, day 4 of the 2024 12 Days of Christmas series, sewing series. It's a lot of numbers to say in a row. I'm surprised that I nailed it. Anyhoozled, on today's video, this was a notion. It's a supply. It's something that I've had in my closet for years, several years now at this point. I just didn't really know what to do with it. I've been like brewing and percolating on what can I do with these, and really due to the size of them, they're only good for one thing, in my humble opinion, and that is a coin pouch. And what I'm talking about are these Flexi bars that we use as the closure. These closures are so cool. I love how they snap back. They're very strong, so anything that you put in here is not going to fall out. You have to really break it in before it starts to pop open easily, but I think these are going to be a hit with the kids because they're perfect for just like carrying around, collecting rocks and whatever weird other things it is that kids collect. But also for adults, it's perfect for coins. A lot of wallets these days don't have coin pouches, so I thought that this would be a great fix for that. A note about the pattern itself, it's just for this like weird light bulb shape. I wanted it to be fun and funky and actually hold quite a bit, which is why I chose the flared rounded belly. But if you don't like this shape, then don't make it. You can make a totally different shape. You can make a rectangle, a square, go wild. The world is your oyster. The Flexi bars are available online. You could just Google flexible frame sewing and like a ton pop up. They also come in a lot of different sizes. And for these specifically, I used 3-inch bars. But yeah, I think that's really all that there is to say about that. I hope that you enjoy the video, and I'll see you at the end. Let's cut and prep our PDF. And of course, if you want to, you can make this bigger or smaller. This is the width of the 3-inch Flexi bar here. So if you have wider Flexi bars, then you can make this wider up at the top. And the way that you can do that is you can just mark your center, and then from your center line, measure out. So you have a 4-inch Flexi bar, then you would just extend it, so on and so forth. But for this demonstration, we are using 3-inch Flexi bars, and we are making this cool, funky Flexi pouch. I love these for like coins and change. I guess coins and change are the same thing, huh? I love these just for like bits and bobs and random things. They're also great for kids to keep little trinkets in. And what comes to mind is when I ordered my skull clip bowl, which I will link below. It came with a bunch of 3D printed creatures, and I gave them to Juno, and a pouch like this is perfect for carrying those little guys around. You know, kids, they're always so busy and they're always collecting stuff. So I think that this is a fun, unique little gift. It's a great stocking stuffer, and it's a cool way to use up those Flexi bars. So once you get this cut out, you can cut out your textile. Now, technically speaking, this pattern would work for any textile, cork, vinyl, leather, but also cotton, wax canvas, anything of the sort. However, it's not lined. Now, there is a way that you can do that, and that would be cutting this, basically this bulb section, and adding a little seam allowance, and then you would encase the lining into the seam allowance up here. But a note about that is you will see it on the inside of the fold. I have one around here that doesn't have the bar in it, but I can't find it. But you will see it inside the fold, so that's just something to consider. I don't think it would be that noticeable, but it is just a detail that I wanted to point out. So again, if you want to line this little pouch, you're going to cut out the bulb section, plus add a little bit of a seam allowance, probably 1/4 inch over the fold line, and then you can line your pouch with something super cute. All right, once you get that cut, you're going to cut it out of your textile. I'm using this really pretty lavender quart, so I'm just going to trace and cut now. Okay, here are 2 pieces. We have a front and a back. Now, using the pattern provided, we're going to mark our fold line on either side So right next to that dash, go ahead and mark that and do that for both pieces. And then what we're going to do is fold this top short edge down to meet that line and clip it. And same on this piece. And now we're going to go to the machine and we're going to stitch this closed, or not closed, rather. We need to leave these side edges open so that we can slip our flexi frame into here, but we need to stitch this down here. So 1/8 of a seam allowance, I'm going to stitch just above the cork on this, on both of these sides here. All right, and then next up, we're going to lay these right sides together, and then at that same mark that we made, we're going to start our stitch line there and stitch all the way around the bulb area. Now, if you have a cute little woven label or some sort of fun tag that you want to stick out when this project is done, you could stick it in between these two layers now. So I like to start by aligning these top edges here because you want this to be even whenever the wallet is done. And so I'm going to start my stitch line. I'm going to make a really tiny L stitch. So I'm going to come in from off of my textile, come in 1 stitch, and then back stitch well. And now I'm going to pivot and stitch all the way around. And I'm doing a scant 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to try to salvage as much of this raw edge as I can on the inside. So just over 1/8 of an inch, under 1/4 of an inch. You can do a full seam allowance if you need to, but it's just going to lessen the overall size of the pouch. And then once we get back up here over to this side, we're going to stop just like we did before and stitch off to create that L stitch. Trim up your threads and I'll meet you on the other side of the table. All right, my friends, we are now to this section and I'm going to trim using pinking shears all the way around because pinking shears will help the curve lay nicer when the wallet is flipped right side out. And it doesn't need to be super close to your stitch line. And as a matter of fact, you want to be very careful that you don't get super duper close. You just want to nip enough into your textile to where whenever it's flipped right side out and the curves are laying, they're folding in on each other, having these little divots cut out gives it some room to lay flatter. And once you get that done, we are going to reach in and flip it right side out. And if you have a poker or chopstick, it's great for this process here to get all the way around our circle. And this is kind of what it should look like now. If you want to, you can iron it flat, or I like to put it just pressed in between my heat press plates, not using any heat, and it flattens it out really nicely. And you just want to ensure that you get all of your edges poked out. All right, next we're going to install the frame. If you haven't seen one of these, this is what it looks like. They come like this. They have a hinge. They're attached here in the center. And this side has an area to slip a pin into. And it has this top flap here that gets folded over the pin. Now, when you order these sets, they come with the pins and they come with the sets of the Flexi frame. They come with the sets. The sets come with pins and the Flexi frames themselves. And something I just want to let you know, just be aware, they're not sharp per se, but they can catch you if you're not careful. So if you're having an issue getting it to pop open, I would suggest coming here to this section where there's no pin and pushing on that. And to insert it, we're just going to open it slightly and put it into our 2 open sections up here at the top. Slide it through until it pops out here on the other side. And then grab a pair of, I like to use needle nose pliers. Make sure you have these handy. You're going to close the pins, align the pins on this side, or not the pins, but align the little brackets over here and slip your pin into that space. And then using your needle nose pliers, you can bend this little section closed. There we go. And now it's all closed up. And then your Flexi pouch is all done and ready to use. Now you can hear how sharp, not sharp, but you can hear how tight the fit is. So this thing is fantastic for coins, baubles, bits, what have yous, Husker do's, Husker don'ts, whistling kitty chasers, whatever you can find. This is a great little pouch for it. Yay. We're here, we're at the end of day 4. I hope that you enjoyed this fun little tutorial on how to make this cute little coin pouch, Flexi bar pouch. You can also use these Flexi bars to make like glasses cases. You can really just use them for anything, especially like the larger ones. I have some of the larger ones and I have been brewing ideas for that as well. So keep an eye out. Something will be coming down the line because now that I've used them in something, I am completely obsessed. All right, and on that, if you're enjoying this series at any time, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, drop me a comment, let me know what you're thinking. All of that interaction really helps boost me in the algorithm, and I appreciate it. I'll see you back here for day 5.